Ritchie Blackmore is not only known as the legendary guitarist who transformed the face of rock music with the sound of his Stratocaster, but also as a figure with a unique lifestyle that reflects dedication, discipline, and a deep love for music and simple living. Behind the grand stage lights and his reputation as one of the most influential guitarists in the world, Blackmore actually leads a daily life far removed from the typical glamorous rock star image. He prefers tranquility, focus, and routines that keep him closely connected to the essence of music. His lifestyle is not built on excessive luxury, but on a consistent commitment to place music at the center of his life while maintaining his closeness to the simple things that inspire him. His name skyrocketed with Deep Purple, the band he founded in the late 1960s, which produced timeless classics such as Smoke on the Water, Highway Star, and Child in Time. Deep Purple's success made him a pioneer of hard rock and a trailblazer of heavy metal, taking Blackmore to the world's biggest stages and cementing his place among the most influential guitarists of all time. Ritchie Blackmore's departure from Deep Purple opened a new path for him to form the band Rainbow. In the mid-1970s, he created Rainbow, an ambitious project that combined guitar virtuosity with dramatic vocals and more progressive musical nuances. Rainbow produced many iconic songs such as Man on the Silver Mountain and Stargazer, further strengthening Blackmore's reputation as a visionary musician. With two major bands that reached the peak of international popularity, Blackmore seemed to have it all: worldwide recognition, a powerful influence on the music industry, and the status of a legendary rock guitarist. This choice of life became even clearer when Blackmore formed Blackmore's Night, a musical project focused on folk and Renaissance sounds with his wife, Candice Night. Instead of continuing to chase fame through arena rock, he chose a more intimate path, performing in castles, gardens, and small, cozy concert halls. This shows that for him, lifestyle is not about grandeur, but about finding a space that aligns with his true self. This simple yet meaningful way of living is what keeps Ritchie Blackmore relevant to this day. He is the embodiment of an artist who chose to walk his own path, refusing to be trapped in the glamorous Rockstar label, and instead finding peace in the harmony between music, nature, and a more intimate personal life. Ritchie Blackmore was born at the Allendale Nursing Home in Weston-super-Mare, Somerset, as the second son of Louis J. Blackmore and Violet (née Short). When he was only 2 years old, his family moved to Heston, Middlesex, where he later grew up. At the age of 11, Blackmore received his first guitar from his father on the condition that he had to seriously learn how to play it. To keep this promise, he took classical guitar lessons for a year, which laid the foundation for his playing technique. In a 1979 interview, Blackmore revealed that his early interest in guitar was sparked by British musician Tommy Steele, who was known for his energetic stage presence. Even so, school life was not enjoyable for him. He disliked his teachers, was often punished for talking too much in class, and even experienced social trauma because of how he was treated. His disappointment with education led him to believe that academic intelligence would only trap him into becoming like the teachers he despised. At the age of 15, he decided to drop out of school and work as a trainee radio mechanic at Heathrow Airport.
Ritchie Blackmore's musical journey began in the early 1960s when he worked as a session musician under producer Joe Meek, while also performing with the instrumental band The Outlaws, which frequently changed its name to secure gigs. During this period, he gained experience supporting various singers, including Glenda Collins, Hines, Screaming Lord Sutch, and Neil Christian. A turning point in his career came in 1967 when he joined a band project called Roundabout, which, on his suggestion, was later renamed Deep Purple. With the original lineup, Deep Purple initially explored psychedelic and progressive rock styles, but starting with the In Rock 1970 album, their sound shifted to hard rock, establishing the band as one of the pioneers of global rock music. The Mark II lineup, featuring Ian Gillan and Roger Glover, produced monumental works such as Machine Head, which included the legendary track Smoke on the Water, still considered a classic rock anthem today. Blackmore's playing style, which combined classical techniques, blues, and rock energy, made him a central figure in the band's success. However, musical differences led him to leave in 1975 to form a new band, Rainbow. Partnering with Ronnie James Dio from the band Elf, Blackmore released Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, featuring influences of medieval and Baroque music. Subsequent albums, Rising and On Stage, solidified Rainbow's reputation as one of the era's major rock bands. Despite frequent lineup changes, Rainbow continued producing hits like Since You've Been Gone, All Night Long, and Stone Cold, and even received a Grammy nomination for the instrumental track Anybody There. In total, Rainbow sold over 28 million albums worldwide. After disbanding in 1984, Blackmore reunited with Deep Purple, producing the albums Perfect Strangers and The House of Blue Light, before leaving permanently in 1993. He briefly revived Rainbow in the mid-1990s with the album Stranger in Us All, but the band disbanded again after 1997. Since then, Blackmore took a new direction by forming the project Blackmore's Night with his partner Candice Night. Their debut album, Shadow of the Moon, introduced folk rock music with Renaissance and Baroque influences, far removed from the hard-hitting sound of Deep Purple and Rainbow. The project has since released over 10 studio albums, including Under a Violet Moon, Fires at Midnight, and the latest release, Nature's Light, 2021. Blackmore's Night performs in intimate settings such as castles, gardens, and small theaters, emphasizing Blackmore's choice to avoid the mainstream rock spotlight. Nonetheless, in 2016, he briefly revived Rainbow for a European concert tour with vocalist Ronnie Romero, performing the best songs from Rainbow and Deep Purple.
For his extensive contributions, Ritchie Blackmore has received numerous international recognitions. He, along with Deep Purple, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2016, although he chose not to attend. His name has repeatedly appeared in Rolling Stone and Guitar World's lists of greatest guitarists of all time, and he has been praised by major musicians such as Steve Vai for bringing blues and classical music into rock in a uniquely distinctive way. From a humble session musician to a world-renowned legend, Blackmore's journey is a long story of bold exploration, devotion to music, and determination to create on his own path. Beyond the world of music, Ritchie Blackmore's personal life reflects a journey full of dynamics over the decades. In May 1964, he married Margit Volkmar, a German woman. From this marriage, their first son, Jürgen, was born, who later followed in his father's footsteps as a guitarist and joined the tribute band Over the Rainbow. However, the marriage did not last long, and after their separation, Blackmore married again in September 1969 to Barbel Hardy, a former dancer from Germany. Unfortunately, this relationship also ended in the early 1970s. His time with his first two wives made Blackmore fluent in German and fostered a deep connection with the country's culture. In the mid-1970s, Blackmore decided to move to the United States, partly for tax reasons, and settled in California. There, he lived for a time with opera singer Shoshana Feinstein, who even contributed backing vocals to two of Rainbow's early songs. After a series of complicated personal relationships, he married for the third time to Amy Rothman in 1981. This marriage was also brief, ending in 1983, before he became involved with Tammy Williams, a hotel employee he met in 1984 in Tennessee. True stability in his personal life came when Blackmore met Candice Night in 1991. They began living together in 1993 in Long Island, Candice's hometown. After nearly 15 years of engagement, the couple finally married in 2008, marking a new phase in Blackmore's life, one that was calmer and more family-oriented. From this marriage, they had two children, Autumn in 2010 and Rory in 2012. Together with Candice, Blackmore not only found domestic peace, but also a creative partner in the project Blackmore's Night, which blends his love for Renaissance music with modern folk influences. His personal life, marked by multiple marriages, divorces, and long searches for stability, ultimately culminated in harmony aligned with the musical direction he chose in his mature years. Ritchie Blackmore currently lives in Long Island, New York, with his wife, Candice Night. However, behind this calm life, he faced a major health challenge. In 2023, Blackmore suffered a serious heart attack that required the placement of 6 stents. This condition led doctors to impose strict restrictions, including a ban on air travel to maintain his health stability. Additionally, back problems further limited his mobility, making physical activity and long-distance travel more difficult than before. He is still in the recovery phase. While gradually improving, his strength has not fully returned to its former level. This situation even makes it challenging for him to play the guitar. Despite these limitations, he continues to maintain his passion and love for music, treating recovery as part of his life journey. Beyond his career as a legendary guitarist, Ritchie Blackmore is also known for having a strong interest in football. In several social media posts, he openly referred to Franz Beckenbauer as the greatest football hero of all time, a figure who rekindled his passion for the sport simply by watching the way Beckenbauer played on the field. Blackmore's admiration for football did not stop there. He has also expressed appreciation for Lothar Matthäus, one of Germany's greatest midfielders. He even recounted meeting Matthäus in person in Udine, Italy, when the player represented Inter Milan against Udinese, describing him as a truly inspiring figure. These expressions reveal a lesser-seen side of Blackmore, that behind his image as a rock guitarist, he also possesses a genuine enthusiasm for football and the legends he admires. Now, at the age of 80, he spends most of his time with his small family, enjoying moments with Candice Night and their 2 children in a simple and warm atmosphere. His choice to live quietly, away from the media spotlight, reflects another side of the rock legend it once shook the world's stages, a man who has now found peace within his family circle and in his enduring love for music that still lives in his heart.